And joining me now is National Senator Matt Canavan. Matt, I note this morning, good to see you by the way, Cabinet Minister Ed Husic says the Coalition's decision to block Labor's cap on international student numbers shows Peter Dutton can't fulfil what he says and that he talks tough and then gets soft on action. So that's what Ed Husic is saying this morning. Is that fair?
Well, the problem with the government's proposal is it's completely unworkable. It's going to destroy many good schools in this country that are doing the right thing, and it largely lets the large universities off scot-free while imposing huge costs on those smaller colleges, some of which are just small businesses. It's an attack on small business in this country. So I support caps. Just the government should do this properly. And if the government was serious about designing such a scheme, they would have sat down with the Coalition to try and work things out. They would have sat down with the vocational education sector and worked these issues through. I had a roundtable last month in Brisbane with a number of businesses in this area, and the stories were shocking. There are schools that have had hundreds of students for many years, and they've been given a cap of sometimes 10, 20, 40 students, way below what they traditionally have trained. And these people are training doctors, they're training nurses, they're training pilots, they're training all types of skills that we need in our economy, and they don't deserve their businesses to be smashed because this government is trying to overcorrect. It's opened the floodgates approach to migration the last few years by now doing a ham-fisted attempt to close the gate after the horse has bolted. There is a much better way of doing this, and the government's proposal just is not the right approach.
OK. Chris Uhlmann's documentary, The Real Cost of Net Zero, that airs tonight is expected to be sobering. The documentary highlights the huge cost of transition and the risk to the grid and reliability by relying so heavily on wind and solar. You were in that Senate estimates hearing when the Australia's energy market operator conceded there's no guarantee the government's race to renewables will reduce household bills. Are Australians being misled with cheaper power prices?
Well, they clearly have been. They've been clearly misled on the government's own promises. The government promised to lower your bill by $275 a year. They promised to have that done by this financial year that we're in right now. And instead, the average power bill has gone up by more than $500 per household. For some larger families, larger houses, much more. So they have not delivered. The so-called renewable energy transition is not delivering for Australian families, and we had a small scintilla of candour from the head of the Australian energy market operator, but unfortunately more broadly across the energy regulator space, certainly from the energy minister and the prime minister, all we get are lies and deception. I can't wait to watch this documentary tonight. I would advise all your viewers to drop what you're doing at 8 o'clock tonight, watch this documentary, because there is pretty much no more important issue facing our country than getting our energy system right. The energy system flows through almost everything we do in our society. It is the reason we've got the highest inflation rate in the developed world. It pushes up the price of everything. So if we don't get this right, every Australian will be much poorer.
Senator, appreciate your time. Thanks so much.